materials are the biggest issue facing most factories. There are a lot of things that could go wrong, and when we go out on the factory floor and talk to people about what their problems are, we hear a lot of different things, but without a doubt, the issue of materials and a variety of issues that come up related to them is the number one feedback that we get. It's not, we don't know how to build a product, or people make too many mistakes. Those things can happen, but mainly it's suppliers, outside suppliers, either not delivering on time or late or the wrong stuff, or internally getting the parts from where they need to be stored to the point where they need to be consumed.
There is a lot of money in materials. There is a great opportunity to be realized in materials. Just stop and think for a minute. What is the cost of your product? Pick a number. Is it $100? Of those $100, what percentage of that is labor, materials, and overhead? You know the answer to that, right? Normally, is going to be materials around 2/3 to maybe 3/4 of the total cost. Yet, many of us in the management world want to go after labor. Well, we'll leave that for another video. But where you need to focus is on materials, on optimizing the amount of inventory. Now, notice I'm on purpose not using the word reducing. It's not about lowering the water to expose the rocks. That's not the way it needs to be done. It needs to be designed. The materials system must be designed no different from a line design, and it must be balanced based on time standards, based on a proper design. So that's what we're after. Understanding what is the cost of your product, understanding what percentage of that is materials, and from there realizing that there is a lot of money and there is a great opportunity to be realized in materials.
Yeah, the biggest asset on your balance sheet for most companies, there are some exceptions, but for most companies, the biggest asset, so-called asset on the balance sheet is materials, inventory of various types, raw material, work in process inventory, finished goods inventory. So if you can take a part of that inventory, dollars, which is a big number, and convert that to cash, not have to replace the inventory, in other words, produce the same volume of products with less inventory on hand, then you've just freed up a lot of cash, freed up working capital, and a huge benefit for the company. You know, most companies, especially startups, go out of business not because they don't have good products or not because they don't have customers. It's because they run out of cash is what happens. So the more you can reduce your dependence on working capital, instead of investing in inventory, you can free it up for other purposes, the better.
So what do we have? We have the highest percentage of your cost, materials. We have the number one complaint from all your associates and everybody in the plant, materials. And we also have the largest portion of your balance sheet, materials. I think we made the case, right?